Hello dear students, how are you? I hope you all are doing fine and you are safe and healthy at your home. In last lecture, I discussed with you the deleted portion of CBSE syllabus, and for class 9th and 10th, as you know, there are major changes in the syllabus. Now we are only having, for class 10th, we are having chapter 12, chapter 13, from which few topics have been removed, and sources of energy is entire sources of energy has been removed from your syllabus. We'll be only discussing the introduction about that. And in our routine chapter, in our routine syllabus, chapter light was going on, in which we have just finished ray diagram formation of concave mirror and convex mirror, 6 cases of concave mirror and 2 cases of convex mirror. Now as your unit after your UT1, your term 1 are approaching, the syllabus for your term 1 for class 10th is chapter 12 and chapter 13 only. The deleted topics from CBSE are not included in this. Only chapter 12 and 13 revised syllabus. So your coordinator teachers will also be sharing with you the revised syllabus of CBSE. So here for this week video lectures, in Monday's lecture I am sharing with you a revision session for your chapter 12 current and electricity, and in next lecture I will share with you the topics of chapter 13, that is magnetic effects of current. So I hope the things are clear to you. So we'll be discussing the topics of chapter 12. The first topic is what is electric current. Electric current we represent it by symbol I symbol से हम इसको represent करते हैं, and it is defined as rate of flow of charge. तो जब भी हम रेट बोलते हैं, रेट का क्या मतलब होता है? रेट का मतलब होता है when we divide some change in quantity by time, that is known as rate. तो आप लोगों ने क्लास 9 में पढ़ा होगा, अगर हम डिस्प्लेसमेंट का रेट लेते हैं फिर डिवाइड डिस्प्लेसमेंट कवर्ड बाय टाइम तो वो हमारी वेलोसिटी हो जाती है. अगर हम वेलोसिटी का रेट लेते हैं तो वो हमारे पास एक्सेलरेशन हो जाता है. तो इन द सेम मैनर if you take the rate of flow of charge, it is known as current. So your I is defined as Q divided by T. So charge, flow of charge per unit time is known as current. I is equal to Q by T. What is the unit of current? Unit of current is ampere. It is named after scientist Ampere, and the symbol for this is capital A. And when we are writing ampere as a word, we write first A small, as it is named after some scientist. So the unit of current is ampere and its unit is represented by A. And how do we define unit of current? Defining unit of current. So from this relation what you will observe, that if we will take 1 coulomb charge and we will take 1 second of time, then we will get 1 ampere of current. So this relation can be used for defining unit of current, that is 1 ampere. So we can define unit of current like if 1 coulomb of charge flows in 1 second, then current is said to be 1 ampere. Okay, so hold it here for a while and go through this definition as we move on to the next topic. Our second topic of the lecture is potential and potential difference. So what is potential? Let us try to understand that. consider a point A and consider a point at infinity. If we move plus 1 coulomb of charge from infinity to a particular point A, and let us say that in bringing this plus 1 coulomb charge from infinity to a particular point A, we need to do work and let that work be W in bringing plus 1 coulomb of charge from infinity to point A. This point A, which is having a potential VA, then how do we define this potential? So for defining potential at a point, we can define it like potential at a point is defined as work done in bringing unit positive charge, that is plus 1 coulomb, from infinity to that point. So by this definition, we know that W is equal, potential is defined as V, potential is defined as work done per unit charge. So that is your formula for potential. It is defined as work done per unit charge. If you are bringing Q charge from infinity to a point A whose potential is V, then work you need to do is V into Q, or potential at that point is defined as work done per unit charge. The unit of potential is volt. And again, like the ampere, we can also define unit of potential in the same manner as we define the current, that is I is equal to Q by T. So if my work done is 1 joule and I am bringing 1 coulomb of charge, then potential at that point is said to be 1 volt. So if 1 joule of work is done in bringing plus 1 coulomb of charge from infinity to a particular point, then potential of that point is said to be 1 volt. Okay. So if we are having some numerical in this, for example, work done in bringing plus 2 coulomb of charge from infinity to a point A is 12 joule. Find the potential at point A. So for doing this numerical, we will apply the same formula which we just have studied. V is equal to W by Q. We know that V is equal to W by Q. So according to question, work done is given 12 joule and charge is plus 2 coulomb. So what I am getting, 6 volt. So voltage at point A is equal to 6 volt. That is your answer. Okay. So you can use this formula V is equal to W by Q for not only calculating V. ऐसा कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि सिर्फ V कैलकुलेट करने के लिए W by Q. Out of these three variables V, W and Q, any two variable can be given. You can have any two variables. For example, if you are given V is equal to 12 volt and you are given Q is equal to minus 2 coulomb, and someone is asking you what is the work done in bringing this minus 2 coulomb charge from infinity to a point whose potential is 12 volt, then you can calculate work using the formula, same formula, V is equal to W by Q. Now you can write like W is equal to V into Q. Q will come here in multiplication. It is simple. So now you can find out work by multiplying voltage to the charge. So in this case, minus 24 joule is going to be the work for bringing charge from infinity to a particular point. Okay. So here is third topic, Ohm's law. What is the definition of Ohm's law? Physical conditions remaining constant, current flowing in a conductor is directly proportional to potential difference across its ends. So we can write it in mathematical form. V is directly proportional to I, or we can say that V is equal to Ri. Whenever we remove directly proportional sign, there comes a constant, and here the constant is R, that is known as resistance of conductor. Unit of resistance is ohm, and its symbol is like this, and we can define 1 ohm in the same manner as we have been defining potential and current. If we take V is equal to 1, and if current of 1 ampere is flowing, then R must be equal to 1 ohm. So according to this formula, if at potential difference of 1 volt current flowing through a conductor is 1 ampere, then we can say that resistance of that conductor is 1 ohm. So if at 1 volt potential difference, current flowing through a conductor is 1 ampere, its resistance is said to be 1 ohm. Okay, so that is your Ohm's law. Few points I would like to add about the Ohm's law. If you will make the graph between V and I, then you must get a straight line. If this is your voltage and this is your current, then we know that at 0 voltage 0 current is there. And suppose 1 ampere, 2 ampere, 3 ampere, 2 volt, 4 volt, 6 volt, 8 volt, 4 ampere, etc. So if you are observing a graph like this between values of current and voltage, say 1 ampere current when 2 volt is the voltage, 2 ampere is the current when 4 is the voltage, 3 ampere is the current when 6 volt is the voltage, then you will get a straight line graph. The straight line graph is indicating that V is directly proportional to I. And if theta is given, suppose here theta is some value theta, then let me tell you, if you complete this triangle at any value, say at the bottom it was at 3 ampere and on vertical axis it was at 6 volt, then we know that tangent theta will become 6 divided by base, that is 3, that is 2. So tangent theta, and 2 is the value of resistance of this conductor. R is equal to 2 ohm for this conductor. As you can see, at 2 volt 1 ampere current, 2 divided by 1 is 2. At 4 volt 2 ampere is the current, 4 divided by 2 is 2. At 6 volt 3 ampere is the current, 6 divided by 3 is the 3. So tangent theta also gives you resistance. So you can note one more point here, very interesting. If voltage and currents are given, and two conductors are given A and B. One is having smaller angle theta A while other is having bigger angle theta B. Then we can say that resistance of B is greater than resistance of A, because B has greater angle theta A greater, because B has a greater angle theta B is greater than theta A, and your resistance is also equal to tangent theta. So that is also in the last exam, you must remember, in your online exams there was a question based on this concept. If we are having VI graph and then angle of the tangent of the angle with the I axis, please note this, if in some numerical angle with the V is given, then you must subtract it from 90 to get the angle with the I. This tangent theta is the formula for angle with the current. Okay. So fourth topic is factors on which resistance of a conductor depends, or the concept of resistivity. So let me tell you, consider a conductor whose length is L and area of cross section is A. Then we know that its resistance R is directly proportional to its length. Greater the length of a conductor, greater the resistance of a conductor. And we know that R is inversely proportional to area. So thicker the conductor is, if area of conductor is more, thicker the conductor is, lesser the resistance. जितना एरिया बड़ा होगा उतना रेजिस्टेंस कम हो जाएगा. इन दोनों इक्वेशंस को अगर हम कंबाइन करते हैं तो हमारे पास आता है R is directly proportional to L over A. और हमें पता है जब भी directly proportional sign remove होता है, there comes a constant. So here one constant will also come. R is equal to rho L over A. Here rho is the constant of proportionality and rho is known as resistivity of material. So this question may be asked in various ways. आपसे एग्जाम में पूछा जा सकता है रेसिस्टिविटी को डिफाइन करो, आपसे पूछा जा सकता है फैक्टर्स ऑन विच रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ अ कंडक्टर डिपेंड. तो जो फैक्टर है हमारे जिनके ऊपर रेजिस्टेंस डिपेंड करता है वो है लेंथ, वो है एरिया, वो है रेसिस्टिविटी विच इज डिफरेंट फॉर डिफरेंट मटेरियल्स, एंड वन मोर इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर इज टेम्परेचर. टेम्परेचर के साथ भी हमारा मेटलिक कंडक्टर्स का जो रेजिस्टेंस है वो चेंज होता है. इफ वी इंक्रीज द टेम्परेचर रेजिस्टेंस इंक्रीजेस, इफ वी डिक्रीज द टेम्परेचर रेजिस्टेंस डिक्रीजेस. So next point is, what about the unit of resistivity? So again, as we are defining all the units of variables by their definition formula, here definition formula is R is equal to rho L over A. If in this formula R is equal to rho L over A, if I'll put length 1 meter and area 1 meter square, then I will get the value of R is equal to rho. So my resistance of a conductor is equal to resistivity if length of conductor is 1 meter and area is 1 meter square. तो last time भी आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछा होगा हमने टेस्ट में. So we can define resistivity of a conductor as the resistance of a conductor whose length is 1 meter and area is 1 meter square. There are other ways to defining this. If we take a cube, then we know that area of each of the face will be 1 meter square and distance between them will also be 1 meter. So resistance of a cube between the opposite faces will also be resistivity. So resistance of a unit cube across its opposite faces will also give you value of resistivity. Or you can also define it simply by saying that resistivity becomes equal to resistance of a conductor if its length is 1 meter and area of cross section is 1 meter square. Shape is not a foundation here. You can also have a cylindrical cross section, cylindrical shape conductor which is having a circular cross section. As long as the area is going to be 1 meter square area of cross section and length is going to be 1 meter, resistance of this conductor is always giving us resistivity. RAB is equal to rho. So this is very important question. very important topic, and many numericals come from this topic. Let me give you an idea of most common numerical which you will see in your exams on the basis of this resistivity. So most students, they get confused while doing such type of numericals. Like we are given a conductor whose length is L and area is A. Even if length and area are not given, then also it's okay. Whose resistance is R. This conductor is stretched to double of its length. हमने इस कंडक्टर को स्ट्रेच करके इसकी लेंथ डबल कर दी. अब इसकी जो लेंथ है वो 12 हो गई और इसका एरिया हो गया A/2. तो यहाँ पे बहुत सारे बच्चे गलती करते हैं, स्ट्रेच करके लेंथ तो डबल कर देते हैं लेकिन एरिया को हाफ करना भूल जाते हैं. तो हम किसी कंडक्टर को स्ट्रेच नहीं कर सकते उसकी डबल लेंथ में बिना उसका एरिया डिक्रीज किए, क्योंकि वॉल्यूम जो है हमारा वो कांस्टेंट रहेगा. देखो सिलेंड्रिकल कंडक्टर का वॉल्यूम यहाँ पे भी एरिया ऑफ क्रॉस सेक्शन इनटू लेंथ रहेगी और यहाँ पे भी एरिया ऑफ क्रॉस सेक्शन इनटू लेंथ रहेगी. तो आप देखेंगे कि पहले भी वॉल्यूम जो है वो AL था, अभी भी जो वॉल्यूम है वो AL है. वॉल्यूम जो है हमारा वो सेम है. अब अगर हम अपना फॉर्मूला लगाएं यहाँ पे, तो R इज इक्वल टू रो L ओवर A. सपोज प्रीवियस कंडक्टर का रेजिस्टेंस आपको 4 ओम गिवन था और आपको फाइंड आउट करना है कि हमारे न्यू कंडक्टर का रेजिस्टेंस R डैश क्या होगा. तो आपको ये वाली एक, अगर आप इसमें वैल्यू पुट करेंगे गिवन R 4 ओम, तो R4 इज इक्वल टू रो L ओवर A. आपके पास ये इक्वेशन आ जाएगी, आपकी पहली इक्वेशन. अब इसी इक्वेशन को अगर हम इस वाले कंडक्टर पे अप्लाई करेंगे तो हमें पता है R डैश इज इक्वल टू रो L डैश बाय A डैश. क्योंकि हमारी जो रेसिस्टिविटी है वो सेम रहेगी, मटेरियल की रेसिस्टिविटी चेंज नहीं होगी विद शेप एंड साइज. तो हमारी सिर्फ लेंथ बढ़ी हुई है. तो लेंथ की अगर हम वैल्यू पुट करें नई वाली की लेंथ की, तो वो 2L पुट हो जाएगी और एरिया जो है वो A/2 हो गया, तो 2 ऊपर आ जाएगा मल्टीप्लाई में. तो इसे हम लिख सकते हैं 4 मल्टीप्लाई बाय रो L ओवर A R डैश. ये हमारे पास सेकंड इक्वेशन आ गई जो हमने नए कंडक्टर पे अप्लाई की. अब आप इस नए कंडक्टर में देखें तो आपको तो पता है कि इक्वेशन 1 से रो L ओवर A की वैल्यू 4 ओम है. तो ये वाली वैल्यू अगर आप इस इक्वेशन में पुट कर देंगे रो L ओवर A की जगह, तो यू विल गेट R डैश इज इक्वल टू 4 into 4. सो R डैश इज इक्वल टू 16 ओम. तो 16 ओम आपका जो है वो नए कंडक्टर का रेजिस्टेंस आ जाएगा 16 ओम. तो इसी तरीके से अगर आप कंडक्टर को स्ट्रेच कर रहे हैं तो आप देख रहे हैं कि उसका रेजिस्टेंस जो है वो बढ़ रहा है. अगर आप कंडक्टर को फोल्ड कर देंगे, हाफ लेंथ का कर देंगे, एरिया डबल हो जाएगा, रेजिस्टेंस कम हो जाएगा. प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस लाइक दिस. इफ यू आर हैविंग एनी डाउट लेट मी नो. I will also be taking online session of you students, and for remaining topics of this chapter 12 I am going to share one more video lecture with you. Okay, thank you.